So here's an ancient riddle for you. What goes on four legs in the morning, two legs at noon, and three legs in the evening? Hello YouTube, Kenny here. I was sitting here doing nothing since not really in the mood to do anything, and it got me thinking that I wanted to make a pretty interesting video about Neanderthal DNA. Kind of off the wall. I've been watching Svante Pabo, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I've never been good with pronunciation. But I've been watching one of his TED Talks for a few weeks now, trying to soak in all the knowledge. And this stuff is crazy. I know maybe a lot of people know about this. It's really hard to gauge. I mean, I've never really seen any big headlines about it or whatnot, but basically what's going on right now is that they're mapping the Neanderthal genome. Now, if you don't know what a genome is, basically what a genome is the complete hereditary history of DNA. And of course, DNA contains all the genetic instructions for the development and functioning of an organism, which we're organisms. So we have DNA in us, and our genome is our complete hereditary history from our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, so on and so forth. From when we all sprang from Africa and made our way to envelop the world with human beings, and you know the whole story. So what's really interesting about all this is that at the time that we were evolving and really becoming, a race of what we are today, modern humans, we were actually mingling and mixing with Neanderthals as we made our way out of Africa and up into Europe. Neanderthals were mainly staying in Western Europe, and we had another early human over in Eastern Europe that we don't know a whole lot about yet. From my understanding, they have only found one bone fragment that they've been able to get some DNA out of, and it's very early. So, but they're referring to them as the Denisovans because they found this bone fragment in the Denisova cave. So that's just a little side note there for you. But anyway, according to this genome that they're mapping out, which is about 55% complete as of December 2011, they have come to find out that most humans that walk the earth today, because of the way we humans the last 100,000 years migrated out of Africa up into Europe and then on out into the world, contain approximately 2.5% of the Neanderthal genome, because our ancient ancestors mixed with Neanderthals. And this blew my mind, because in school, Neanderthals were a totally separate race. And we had humans, and of course, Denisovans were never mentioned, not to my knowledge. Now, as you get farther east in Europe, around Papua New Guinea, there is actually, folks around that area carry an extra 5%, or up to 5% of the Neanderthal DNA, which is just, it's very cool, because it just shows that not only that that the narrow-minded views of interracial mixing modern day just this has been a practice for the last 100,000 years. We've been mixing with other races, and black and white, that whole mixture thing, totally, the whole people hating it because it's wrong and all this and that, totally absurd. So anyway, my take on all this is that most of the time in our DNA, we'll have traits from further back that will pop up, and you'll see it on humans. That's something that'll either skip a generation or 10 generations even. And so we may even have traits like very hairy people like myself. That may, in my eyes, and I could be wrong on this, I'm not an expert. I've only seen talks and looked up information online, but that may be a trait of Neanderthalism. Currently, the Neanderthal genome is, again, 55% complete. This is after about 25 years of research, so it'll take a while longer before they have a full understanding of it all. Now, on the subject of Neanderthals, Denisovans, and modern humans back at that point, there actually could be more from what researchers are saying. There could be other races of humans, and so it's crazy to think about that we came in a variety. Because obviously growing up, in my teachings, there was only ever Neanderthals and humans again, and Denisovans weren't even mentioned. Probably because they just recently discovered the bone fragment that is of no match to Neanderthals and no match to humans, aside from a small amount. So it's just crazy. So what's really cool is that if you are interested in finding out the genome history of your DNA, they can actually do that for you, and it's a website called 23andme.com. It's a DNA analysis service providing information and tools for individuals to learn about and explore their DNA. And from what I've read, if your ancestors moved around a lot, it'll probably be pretty difficult. It'll probably take a while to map it all out. But and it's not cheap either. I think bottom line price is about $299. But so if you have the money, it's something terrific to look at. You can even give it as a gift to somebody. I'm not real sure the information that's required about it, but they'll obviously need to know, like, maybe a general idea of where your ancestors came from or whatnot, as well as a sample of your DNA. Obviously, maybe they'll send you a swab kit for your mouth or something. So that'll do it for this video. Gave you a little bit of knowledge about Neanderthals. You might have some of your DNA or history coming from Africa, moving into Europe, mingling with Neanderthals and Denisovans, and very, very cool. And, you know, just kind of showing that our evolutionary history as humans is more interesting than we think. And I'm one to always soak in knowledge. So subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.